Hello, my name is Anubhav Swami, and today in this video I'll talk about Cisco Validated Design Guides. On our Cisco Design Zone, we publish various CVDs to provide Cisco validated architecture so that our customers can use CVDs to architect their secure environment. Now, when you look at a CVD document, you will find following components in a CVD. We start with safe introduction, then we divide our flows into business flows, and then we cover attack surfaces. Once you get clear understanding of attack surfaces, we talk about our solution overview. Then we talk about secure business flow, how to secure those business flows using different devices available in security portfolio. Then we deep dive into solution architecture. We talk about what components are available in the architecture and where you can insert different security products. And CVD is incomplete without adding implementation steps, validation and testing steps. I'm going to add a link to our design zone so that you can go there and download our CVDs. If you go to cisco.com/go/safe, and if you click on design guides, you will see that we have recently updated design guides in our design zone. So we have recently added secure cloud for AWS, secure cloud for Azure. We have added umbrella design guide. We have added Cisco secure remote worker design guide for AWS and Azure. So when you go there, you can download these documents and you can read about our Cisco validated designs for your cloud environment. Now I'll talk about what you can find in AWS CVD. So now if you look at this particular architecture, this is a typical architecture where you have a three-tier architecture. You have web, app, and database tier, and you have applications running in your virtual private cloud. Now I'll start off with basic security components, starting with Duo. With Duo, you can manage your multi-factor authentication not only for AWS console, but you can also use it for MFA on your firewall. If you terminate VPN on your firewall, you can use Duo for multi-factor authentication. In addition to this, there are plugins available for different applications. For example, if you're planning to deploy Nginx in your AWS environment, there is a plugin available which will enable you to have multi-factor authentication for your applications as well. Now, if you look at Cisco Defense Orchestrator, it is our cloud delivered SaaS offering from where you can manage your firewalls. You can onboard your virtual private cloud and you can monitor or manage your AWS security groups as well. Now, using CDO, you can manage Cisco ASA, Cisco Next Generation Firewall. You can manage security policies on those two virtual appliances as well. And then using the same console, you can apply your security groups, AWS security groups as well. Cisco Decoration SaaS offering is another offering where you get your agents, decoration agents. You can install those agents on your workloads. You can run decoration agents in visibility mode, or you can put it in enforcement mode as well. Using decoration, you can enable micro-segmentation, and decoration agent will forward network flow and process information to SaaS and decoration cloud. So you can create your policies based on the flows that you see in your virtual private cloud. Then we have Cisco Stealth Watch Cloud, where you can forward information like VPC flow log, CloudTrail, AWS Inspector, AWS IAM, and there are multiple other sources which you can forward to Stealth Watch Cloud. And you will see various observations in your Stealth Watch Cloud dashboard. So if there is any variation in any of the item, for example, if you have let's say if you have some kind of key which is stale for some years, that observation can be seen on StealthWatch Cloud. Now you can also have AMP for endpoint on your workloads, and this will protect you from malware. So it will do your file and malware analysis for you. Umbrella VA or virtual appliance is also available for AWS. You can bring your AMI onto your AWS environment. You can provision these servers in your VPC, in management subnet, or in some shared VPC, and then have your DHCP options provide Umbrella VA as your DNS server. So any policy that you will create on Cisco Umbrella Cloud, that will be applicable for your workloads inside AWS network as well. Then you can also use Cisco SecureX threat response, which will get feeds from StealthWatch Cloud, AMP, and Umbrella using API integration. So you can use this for your threat hunting. Now on the VPN side, you can use Route 53 for your VPN load balancing. You can provision firewalls at the edge. You can provision firewalls for protecting your workloads from any threat coming from internet. You can use same virtual appliance for VPN termination as well. When I say VPN termination, you can use it for site-to-site VPN tunnel. You can use it for RA VPN, and then have your user connect from outside to your AWS environment. You can also use virtual appliances or virtual firewall appliances to connect with your other VPCs using IPsec tunnel. And in addition to this, for WAF and Radware, for WAF and DDoS, you can use Radware, or you can also enable AWS Shield capability on your AWS cloud as well. Now let's talk a little bit about Radware. Radware integration with Cisco SecureX. Cisco SecureX is a place where you will get information from various sources like Tetration, StealthWatch, AMP, SecureX Threat Response, and Umbrella. And at the same time, there is a tight integration with Radware as well. Everything is done using API, so you can add various modules into Cisco SecureX, and you can get detailed information on SecureX as well. So the complete architecture was discussed in Cisco CVD, and you will find all the implementation steps, testing and validation done on this architecture in our AWS CVD. Now let's talk about what is there in our CVD for Azure. So again, similar kind of deployment, a 3-tier architecture where you have web, app, and database tier, and then you deploy firewalls in a load balancer sandwich fashion where you have next generation firewall at the edge. Any traffic coming from outside will land on outside load balancer. Outside load balancer will load balance it to any of the firewalls available in the backend pool, and from firewall it will go to load balancers. And if you look at this architecture, you will see that we have web load balancer, and that web load balancer will then forward traffic to web tier, and from web tier you will reach application load balancer, and this is internal load balancer. We have just named it as app load balancer. From app load balancer you can reach application tier, and there is a tight demarcation between each subnet using NSG, Azure NSG. And for VPN, you can place firewalls at the edge. For VPN connectivity, it can be site-to-site connection or RA VPN connection. And at the same time, if you want to get secured access to your management network, you can place firewalls in your management subnet just for RA VPN, so that your ops team can get access to these virtual appliances or your workloads using a secured IPsec or SSL VPN connection back to the cloud. Again, Duo will integrate with Azure console. It will integrate with your application servers. It will provide MFA for your remote access VPN users. Cisco Defense Orchestrator in this CVD is used for firepower, next generation firewall management. So you can create your policies, modify your policies using CDO. Umbrella DA is available in this architecture for DNS layer security. Stealth Watch is for threat visibility and analytics. And then we have Tetration for workloads, workload security, microsegmentation, and visibility. Then we have malware protection using AMP for endpoint. And again, everything is sent to SecureX threat response for threat hunting. You will get detailed information on Cisco SecureX. Now you have tight integration with Radware, WAF, and DDoS as well. So we do integrate with Radware for WAF and DDoS. So we have added those steps in our CVD as well, so that if you want to enable DDoS functionality or WAF functionality in your Azure environment, you can look at our CVD. Now Radware can integrate with SecureX threat response, and that is how we do it. And now look at the third CVD that we have in our design zone, and that CVD is for secure remote worker. So our secure remote worker includes 4 components. First one is Cisco AnyConnect VPN, which is a VPN client. Then we have Cisco Duo for multi-factor authentication. We have Cisco Umbrella for DNS layer security and IP layer enforcement. And then we have AMP module for advanced malware protection. Now, if you look at this particular architecture at a very high level, this is a AZ multi-VPC architecture where we have security VPC, or in this case we call it as hub VPC, which is connected to our spoke VPC, and these spoke VPCs are our application VPCs where our application workloads are hosted. And all these VPCs are connected using a transit gateway, AWS native transit gateway, using VPC attachment. Now, in this architecture, we have multiple firewalls. In this diagram, for real estate purposes, I've just shown one firewall per availability zone, but you can have multiple firewalls per availability zone, which is a recommendation. And then on the left hand side, you can see Route 53. We use Route 53 to load balance our VPN session. So imagine you have a remote worker on the internet. Your user will initiate a connection to, for example, he'll initiate connection to abc.vpn.com. That resolution will happen using Route 53, and Route 53 will do the weighted load balancing of VPN session to these firewalls. And once we receive traffic on firewall, from there we will send it to spoke 1 VPC, spoke 2 VPC, or we can even send it back to the data center. So that is what we have on the remote worker side. In addition to AnyConnect, we generally wrote information about integration with Duo for MFA using LDAP. LDAP being your primary authentication method, and Duo is your secondary authentication method. The other thing that we covered in this CVD is providing DNS layer security and IP enforcement using Umbrella roaming security module, which is part of AnyConnect module. And then we also covered AMP protection. So any kind of malware on your endpoint will be mitigated by AMP for endpoint module or AMP enabler, which is available with AnyConnect. Same architecture is available for Azure as well. Only difference is instead of using DNS load balancer, we have used Azure Traffic Manager. Again, it is multi-VNet and multi-AZ architecture. You can see that we have firewalls in load balancer sandwich architecture, where we have external load balancer for load balancing inbound traffic, and internal load balancer is for load balancing outbound traffic. And for VPN connection or VPN remote user connection, traffic will first land on Azure Traffic Manager, and from Azure Traffic Manager it will go to any of the firewalls in the backend pool. And from there, once you connected to your firewall, traffic will then go to application VNets. Similar kind of design that we have already covered in AWS, but if you are using Azure and you want to have a scalable design for RA VPN using SSL VPN, definitely this is a nice CVD to refer to. With this, we have reached end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.